There's a sound a man doesn't forget once he hears it at the wrong time. The water running in the shower. At first, it seems innocent, ordinary, domestic. But when it greets you unexpectedly, when it shouldn't be there, when no one should be home, it becomes something else entirely. I heard it the day I came home early from work, tired and burned out from another god-awful meeting that ended faster than planned. I was looking forward to surprising my wife. Maybe we'd order Thai food. Maybe we'd have one of those rare nights where we felt close again, even for a little while. Instead, I stood frozen in the front hallway, holding my keys in one hand, my jacket still on, as I heard the unmistakable sound of running water from upstairs. Our home was quiet. Too quiet. Not a single light was on downstairs. No television, no music. Just the high, clean pitch of hot water crashing against porcelain, the occasional clink of something bumping inside the tub, and faint, rhythmic sounds that didn't fit. I didn't want to move, but I did. I walked slowly to the base of the staircase, every step heavy, deliberate, as if my body already knew what my mind hadn't accepted yet. Halfway up, I saw her shoes by the railing. Heels. The kind she didn't wear for me anymore. They were pointed toward the wall like they'd been kicked off in a hurry. That's when my heart turned to lead. I pushed the door open without knocking. The bathroom was thick with steam, warm and suffocating, and the sliding glass door to the shower was fogged, but not enough. I saw his back first, then her hands tangled in his hair, and then her eyes. She looked up and saw me, and for the briefest moment, time stopped. No one moved. I stood in the doorway, my face expressionless, my fist clenched. Then I reached for the towel rack, ripped the largest one off the hook, and hurled it into the shower without saying a word. The man jumped back, slipping against the tile, and she screamed, not out of pain, but panic. I turned around and walked out, down the stairs, out the front door, into my car. The sun was setting. I stared at the sky like I was waiting for it to fall. My hands were shaking, but not out of rage. Not yet. Just disbelief. Shock. The kind of numbing, bottomless feeling that wraps around your chest and makes you forget how to breathe. I didn't go far. Just drove around the block twice, then pulled into the park nearby and sat there in the parking lot, engine off, watching a father push his daughter on a swing while the mother filmed it. That's what I thought I had. That's what I'd built for the last 6 years. Her name was Taylor. She was my wife. She came home hours later. I had returned before her and sat at the kitchen table like a statue, hands folded, waiting. When she walked in, her hair was wet, pulled into a tight bun. Her clothes were different. I didn't speak. She didn't either. She stopped in the doorway, looked at me, then looked down. Her eyes didn't hold remorse. They held calculation. That's what shattered me more than anything. She wasn't ashamed. She wasn't broken. She was cornered. We sat in silence for maybe 10 minutes before she said she was going upstairs. I didn't stop her. I didn't follow. That night, I slept on the couch. What followed wasn't an apology or denial. It was worse. Indifference. She stopped trying. The meals we used to make together? Gone. The light conversations in bed before sleep? Dead. She moved through the house like a guest waiting for her next reservation. And I let her. I observed. I counted the late nights, the extra gym bags, the long showers when she came home smelling like sweat and cologne that wasn't mine. She thought the worst had passed. She thought I had accepted it. But I hadn't. I wasn't going to tell her friends, or her parents, or post about it like some heartbroken teenager. I wasn't going to cry to my coworkers or beg her to stay. I wasn't interested in pity. I wanted her to understand, truly understand, what she had done, not just to me, but to herself. I watched her walk around like she still owned her life. Like she hadn't detonated a bomb in the middle of everything we built. But that illusion wouldn't last. I began preparing. Not a plot. Not a scheme. A reality check. I quietly sold my stake in the small marketing firm I co-owned. Cashed out. Moved the funds. I contacted a realtor friend, told him I was interested in buying a loft in the city, something minimal, just for myself. I visited it twice while Taylor thought I was working overtime. I arranged everything without a trace of drama. No confrontations, no accusations. Only the kind of silence that screams in the back of your skull. 3 weeks after I caught her in the shower, I left the house again during the day, pretending to go to work. I returned mid-morning. She was gone, of course. I packed what I needed, clothes, essentials, the watch my father gave me before he passed. I left the rest. I wanted her to see the absences. The clean hangers. The half-empty drawers. The void. On the kitchen table, I placed my wedding band. Next to it, A note. Just 4 words, written in my cleanest handwriting. You can keep the silence. Then I walked out. I didn't answer her calls. Not the first, not the 5th, not the 37th. She left voicemails at first, confused, angry, then frightened. I didn't listen past the second one. I didn't need to. I already knew how her voice sounded when it wasn't real. She came home that evening to find a house half empty. My clothes gone. My drawer in the bathroom vacant. The coffee mug she got me on our 2nd anniversary missing from the cabinet. Her ring was still on. Mine wasn't. The silence I left in that house wasn't just quiet. It was suffocating. It carried weight. She texted me the next morning. Just one word. Why? I didn't reply. There wasn't anything left to say. I had already said everything I needed to with my absence. The loft I moved into was small, industrial, with brick walls and a view of the river. The first night I slept there, I didn't dream. The first morning I woke up, I made coffee in a pan because I forgot to buy a kettle. I didn't care. For the first time in years, I didn't feel watched or lied to. I didn't feel like I was being measured and found lacking. The silence in this place was different. It was mine. Taylor came to my office 2 days later. I didn't let her past reception. She looked tired, panicked, like someone who'd finally realized the ground beneath her was crumbling. Just 5 minutes, she pleaded. I shook my head once. She waited outside in her car for over an hour. Then she left. That was the last time I saw her in person. Over the next few weeks, the stories started coming in. Not from me. I never spoke about her. But people noticed. That's how the world works. You can't keep showing up to dinner parties without your spouse and pretend nothing happened. She tried to play it casual at first. We're working through some things, she told people. But lies don't hold when there's no one left to lie with. Word got around. Someone from her office mentioned they'd seen her out with someone else months before the separation. She lost a client. Then another. Then 2 more. She called me again, blocked number. Left a message. Her voice was different. No rage. No performance. Just lost. I made a mistake, she said. I didn't think you'd actually leave. And that was it. That line. That single sentence. She didn't regret what she did. She regretted losing the control she thought she'd always have. I didn't save the message. I didn't save anything. From what I heard through the grapevine, the man in the shower wasn't the one. He was one of a few. After I left, he disappeared too. Maybe he didn't like the mess that came after the thrill. Maybe he was just another hollow distraction. Either way, she ended up alone. She moved in with a friend for a while. Tried to keep her job. Switched firms. Started over. But the shadow of what happened followed her. She wasn't the woman with a perfect home and a stable husband anymore. She was the woman who watched it all vanish in a single, shattering afternoon. As for me, I kept moving. The loft became a home. I learned to cook again. I started running in the mornings, breathing in the kind of air that doesn't carry regret. I dated once, then twice. Slowly, carefully. Not because I was afraid of love, but because I knew how quickly it could be faked. People always ask, why didn't you fight back? Scream? Tell the world. Because the best revenge wasn't noise. It was the sound of the door closing behind me and never opening again.